Number 5, EQing excessive low end and high end out of a reverb, commonly known as the Abbey Road trick. So here I have a reverb at 3/4 of a second, which is a pretty standard time for me on drums. It really depends. I don't want a super long decay on a fast groove like this, but I don't want a short decay like this, or a shorter decay like this on something that's really, really spacious. So use common sense. Typically, you can measure out between beat to beat and find out how many milliseconds it is inside of your DAW. But just remember, the audible end of the decay will probably disappear far sooner than it says it will. Because it might be 3/4 of a second between beats, between kick beats. You know, it might be 1, 2, 3. But if you measure that exactly that length, you'll probably find that it's audible about 2/3 of the way through and then just disappears. So it's not a science. You've got to change the reverb length to be the sound that you want it to be, the length that you want it to be. We're on for 3/4 of a milliseconds here. We've got the kick in. We're going to send to it. So we're coming in 15, 16. Here it is without the EQ engaged yet. Bypass it. So the fear is you get this build up of low end, you get this woo, woo, woo going on. It happens a lot. So what we do is we grab our EQ and we put it in a high pass mode here. And we just come up. We come up to like 400, something like that. Now also, we don't need the excessive high end. So let's go and grab this one and low pass it. Now, with excessive low end in a reverb, it just ends total mush. So I always wipe out that low lows on that kick there. So now we're getting rid of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that into pre-fade and we're going to have a listen. So this is just the reverb from the kick. Before. You hear that It sounds nice on its own, but in the track, it's just a big load of reverberating around. Together. So it just keeps the low end super, super tight. I also do the same things on toms. If I'm adding additional reverb to toms, I will do the same trick. You can also use it on vocals, you can use it on guitars, anything you're concerned about a buildup of low end or high end. High end is also a big deal. You want a low pass, remove the highs, because on some things like acoustic guitars, it's nice to have a beautiful reverb, but if it's super high endy and it just ends up creating all these extra kind of like fizz over the top, it can also make the high end a total mess as well. So focusing your reverbs top and bottom is a really, really good thing. On vocals, on acoustic guitars, on electric guitars, kick drums, toms, you name it. Shape your reverb.